Hello, everyone. I'm Kentucky Dolly Mom. If you're one of my awesome subscribers, welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. And you can become one of my awesome subscribers too. Just punching that subscribe button, hitting the notification bell, so you'll be notified when I make a new video. That is, of course, if you like my videos. I only want you here if you want to be here, because I sure enjoy having you all here. And today I'm going to do a tag. It's kind of a combo tag. And I hope you enjoy just watching my sweet little Jessie Marie laying there up on the little changing table while I do this tag. Now, I hope I'm doing this right. And the reason I call it a combo tag is because from what I understand, Tammy from my Reborn Nursery made the tag, "Who Are You?" And then Jarlise from Jarlina's Nursery did a "Who Are You 2.0. So it's kind of a double tag because Jarlise's questions are different from Tammy's. But I want to do them both, show my support for both channels. So I'm going to answer both of their questions. And I'll start with Tammy from my Reborn Nursery. And if you're not familiar with Tammy's, my Reborn Nursery, she's linked in the title. Please check her out. Now, the first question is, what is your memory as a child that was history making? Well, as a child, two things very significant to history happened. I was a little bit too young for the first one, which was the assassination of JFK. And I was only 5 at the time. And of course I remember, the family and others talking about the horrible incident. But being only 5, by the next day I was back to playing with my dolls. I really don't believe I gave it another thought. And that doesn't sound too good, but like I said, I was only 5. But what really impacted me and caused great pain in my heart was when I was 10 years old, and the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. I remember everything about that, and it was very heartbreaking because at only 10, I very much admired this man. So now we will go to question number 2. As a child, who was your first boyfriend? And that is so easy to answer. I was in the 2nd grade, and there was a little boy in there named Dale. He had fiery red hair and a face full of freckles. And oh my goodness, I was in love. He would make me bracelets and necklaces out of construction paper. We always ate lunch sitting next to each other. He sat behind me. He was my first little boyfriend. And I can't believe at 64, I remember him, and I can even see his little face so very clearly. Now, question number 3 is, what was your favorite memory as a child? Now today, it would be a nightmare. Today, it would not be a pleasant memory because things have sure changed since I was a child. But my all-time favorite memory was going from Kentucky to Cincinnati every summer, and I would spend the whole summer with my dear, sweet Aunt Sis, which was my mom's sister. And I started going on a Greyhound bus at 9 years old by myself. My mom would and dad would take me to the bus station. Of course, the bus driver had very strict instructions that I was not to get off the bus for any reason. My aunt met the bus right as it pulled in, and she was the one that came to the door and got me off the bus. And my mom, oh, she would pack me the biggest snack bag and drinks, and I sat back on that bus. I enjoyed the scenery. I was excited and couldn't wait to go and see my Aunt Sis. And no matter how big the snack bag was, it was always empty by the time I got there. I don't know if I ate because I enjoyed the food or because I was just a little nervous about the trip, but I absolutely loved going to visit my aunt in Cincinnati for the summer. Now, question number 4, what was your Christmas like as a child? Well, I was raised in a household where Christmas wasn't celebrated. We didn't celebrate any holidays. But one Christmas stands out the most because, I mean, as a child, it's kind of rough going to school, and you're not allowed to participate in I wasn't allowed to participate in any of the holiday festivities or anything that was going on in school. And I remember I was about 8 years old, and it was starting to really bother me that I wasn't allowed to have Christmas. I mean, the lights were so beautiful, and the thought of giving someone gifts, I mean, that just had to be the most beautiful holiday there is, right? But I couldn't do it. So one Christmas, and I can remember it like it was yesterday, I went out into the yard. Of course, I'm in Kentucky, so we had snow. It was very cold. And I found me a pretty good sized tree branch. And it was bare. It was, there was no leaves. It was winter. But it had several branches off of this one main branch. And I loved the way it was just, I had the branches just kind of scattered, in different directions. And I thought, oh, wow, this is going to make a nice Christmas tree. I'm going to put this in my room, and I just won't let anybody see it. That was my thought. So I took me an oatmeal box, and I cut it down. I put me a hole in the middle of it, and I put one of my mom's white scarves over it, and I stuck the stick of the tree branch down in the hole, and it stood up pretty nicely. And then I decorated the tree all up with necklaces and bracelets and earrings, and it was just so pretty. And I found I was kind of gathering little boxes from the garbage. Mom would put a butter box in the garbage, or there would be a raisin box in the garbage. It didn't matter what it was. I was getting boxes out, and I was wrapping them, and I was putting them under my little tree. And I kind of thought I was going to get away with this. You know, it's my room. But at 8 years old, you know, moms can just kind of come in when they want to. So Mom did come in. She found, you know, saw the tree, got very upset. I had to take it down. Now, it's not a beautiful, nice, fond Christmas memory, but it's the one that stands out the most because, well, I loved my little tree and my mom took it away. Needless to say, when I grew up and had my own children, Christmas was one of my favorites, and I did go all out for Christmas for my children and then with my grandchildren. All right, now, question number 5. Did you have any pets? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I actually kind of lived on a mini farm. And even though you're not supposed to have cows and chickens and goats as pets because, you know, they more than likely going to end up on the dinner table, I named everybody. Everybody had a name and I enjoyed it. And I'm just love animals, and it doesn't matter what kind. But I did have, my dad raised rabbits, and one of our rabbits got out. All of our domestic rabbits was white, and one of them got out, and my dad found her and brought her back in. Well, she ended up having a litter, and in the litter was a little brown and white rabbit. Just one. All the rest of the rabbits was white. So my dad said, well, you know, that she must have been with a wild rabbit while she was out. And my dad let me keep him as a pet. And I named him Charlie. And then I had a chicken named Sebastian, and I kept him in the house. I had a pet pig that it was a little runt and couldn't feed with the rest of the babies, so I got to bring that baby in the house and bottle feed it, and I named him Bobo. And he ended up being a pet pig and not a dinner pig, which I enjoyed that a lot. And then, of course, various dogs and cats. I had hamsters that ended up taking up the whole family room. I had aquariums all lined up in the wall because I started out with 2 little hamsters, a boy and a girl. And of course they started having babies. Then I had to get another tank. Then I had to get another tank. And oh my goodness, we had to end up stopping that because I ended up having a lot of little hamsters. But just about any animal. My dad loved animals. We would make pets of squirrels. My favorite, of course, was my horse. I had 2. One's name was Spot, and Mom always put us in like these little dresses she would call house dresses because they were something you just run around and play with, you know, play in and at home. But if we had to run out somewhere, we looked okay to go. So she'd call them house dresses, and they had pockets. We had a persimmon tree, and I always had persimmons in my pocket. And my horse Spot knew that. And one day he went to put his mouth in my pocket just to get a persimmon. He would have never hurt me on purpose for anything in the world. But he did kind of nip my side a little bit. When I got dressed for bed that night, my mom saw it. She told my dad. My dad said, he's got to go. If he's going to bite a child, we can't keep him. And I tried to explain he wasn't biting me out of meanness or wanting to just bite me. He just misjudged his mouth with my hip and the persimmon he was trying to get. But my dad, we did rehome Spot, and he got me another horse, Tony. but many, 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 many pets. And today, I still love animals, and I do have cats. Okay, so number 6, what do you remember? What do you remember in elementary school? Well, I guess there's a lot of memories, but one that kind of stands out is I was sent to the office one day, and still to this day, still to this day, I do not understand. I was in the 4th grade. I was sent to the office because I had worn a pair of blue jeans that had a peace sign on the back pocket. And I could not, and still to this day, I really don't understand why I got in trouble for wearing blue jeans with a peace sign on the back pocket. And I promise you guys, that was the only reason I was sent to the office. They called my mom, told my mom she had to bring me another outfit. My mom said she didn't have a transportation, and that she would just make sure that I didn't wear the pants again. But like I said, no explanation. You're just not allowed to wear anything like that to school. And we weren't, good grief. Like I said, I'm 64 years old. We didn't even know. If you weren't in a private school, we'd never even heard of, uniforms. We had, dress codes where, you couldn't wear short shorts or short dresses, things of that nature. But the peace sign, still to this day, I don't know why I wasn't able to wear a pair of jeans with a peace sign on the back pocket. Okay, and we're going to go to now question number 7. Who was your first love, and at what age? My first love, I guess, would have to be my ex-husband. And I was 22 years old. That marriage only lasted 8 years. But I do believe, and I still believe, that was the first time I ever really knew, or thought I knew, what it felt like to be in love. Of course, I'm married now to a wonderful guy, 35 years old, so I wish they'd have asked who my second love was, but the question was first, so I'd unfortunately have to say my ex-husband at 22 years old. Excuse me, guys. Now, question number 8. What is your favorite high school memory? Oh my gosh. My favorite high school memory was, I believe I was in the 9th grade, and I was asked to go out to eat. It was at the time called Druthers, I think it was, by the most popular boy in school. His name was Paul, and no, I wasn't in love with him at all, but I did have a little crush, but my goodness, I felt like he is so far out of my league that I couldn't even think about being able to even look at him, much less go out with him. But I was. He did ask me out. And we didn't get serious or anything like that, but we did date the rest of the year after that. But I think that was my most enjoyable high school memory. There were many, but that's the one that stands out. Okay, that's the end of Tammy's questions from the My Reborn Nursery. So now we're going to go to the Who Are You 2.0. And these are the questions that Jarlise from Jarlina's Nursery has asked. And so question number one is, what is your name and what do you like to be called? Well, my name is Joyce Ann, and a lot of people call me Joyce, and a lot of people call me Joyce Ann. I don't really care. I mean, either one is fine. My mom and my dad always called me Joyce Ann. Um, my brothers and sisters called me Joyce growing up, but then they called me Joyce Ann after, uh, we were grown. As adults, they still call me Joyce Ann. But then, of course, my children call me Mom, and I always wanted them to call me Mama, but it never stuck. It never stuck. Mom or Mommy, but never, Mama. Now, once in a while, my youngest daughter, will call me Mama when she stops to think about it, because she knows that melts my heart. And if she's wanting to ask for something, call me Mama, and she will probably get it. But normally it's Joyce or Joyce Ann. Question number 2 is, what is your favorite color? And I think you could probably tell that just by looking at Jessie Marie. My favorite color is purple, and it's any shade of purple. I like dark purple, I like lavender, I like lilac. I don't care. I love the color purple. And I have loved the color purple since I was a very young child. As a very, very, very young child, my bedroom, I loved the color bright orange with purple. And my whole room was purple. And I had a big throw rug on the floor that was shaped like a foot. And it was a furry orange foot in the middle of everything else being purple. Okay, number 3. What do you like to do in your free time besides dolls? I absolutely love, of course, what probably most of us love, and that's spending time with my family. And I don't get to do a lot of that. We're almost an empty nest here. All my grandchildren live in Texas. But my favorite thing to do with the family is being outside at a bonfire. And I think my son and I love the bonfire more than any of us. Now, bring out the marshmallows and the Hershey bars and graham crackers, and of course my youngest daughter would be right out there with us. But I do love bonfires. I've always loved grilling outside, grilling and having a bonfire, roasting marshmallows, sitting around. When my dad was still with us, we did that all growing up all the time. And my brother and my dad pull out the guitar, start picking, and good times. But I never grew out of loving a bonfire and sitting around the bonfire with my family, just relaxing and enjoying life. Okay, movie or book? That's kind of both. I'm a research nerd. So I have to do a lot of reading. And that's because if it's interesting or important to me, I'm going to research everything I can about it. So I do a lot of reading. But I enjoy movies more now as I got older, just because it's a little easier to do versus trying to see. My eyes are kind of old too, so it's hard to for me to be able to read unless I do have a good size print. But I tell you, my favorite book that I read was The Hobbits. I absolutely love The Hobbits. I would sit there and laugh out loud at some of the things in the book. I could picture what Gollum looked like to a T, and his precious, which was the ring. But I must say, when I got to the movie and I saw that the movie for the Hobbits, I was just thrilled because I love the book so much. And in the movie of the Hobbits, my version of Gollum was exact. I did use my imagination and I did picture him just like they did in the movie. But the movie wasn't as good, I don't think, as the book. But I do have to say, I'm more on movies now, but I read a lot. It may not be a book, but I read a lot. Well, books too, because like I said, if it's important or interesting, I research everything. Okay, number 5. How would you describe yourself? I feel like I'm a strong person. I have had people tell me that they can't believe how strong I am. But that is because of being 64 and gone through a lot of experiences that wasn't always good ones. But I'm also a big advocate for our most vulnerable when it comes to children, born or unborn, when it comes to the elderly, the handicapped and mentally challenged, and animals, which I classify all of the above as our most vulnerable. I cannot advocate more for these groups. I've donated to my time and dolls to nursing homes. We were foster parents for many years because I wanted to help the children. I also did animal cat and kitten rescue for many years. Actually, I did it all the way up until I had my strokes. I had 2 strokes within 3 days apart 5 years ago. And, well, actually, 5 years ago. It'd be 6 years in January. And I did the cat and kitten rescue all the way up until I had the 2 strokes, and then I just physically, I just wasn't able to do it. It took me about a year to bounce back. I thank God every day that I did not have permanent damage from my strokes. But it did take me about a year to bounce back. And taking care of a lot of kittens, because I called my cat and kitten rescue was the kitty castle. And that's because all of my purr babies are treated like royalty. And so it was a lot of work. I enjoyed it. I was very strict for with the placements of these cats and kittens. And I feel like I did a good job homing lots and lots. I've got a book of the list of everybody, but oh, it was a lot. And I really enjoyed that. But I feel empathy. I'm a person that wears my heart on my sleeve, which is not always good, but I do. Very trusting, which sometimes I shouldn't be. But I'm very honest, and I can be trusted. I'm honest. And unfortunately, I not only expect that from those around me, I kind of am naive a little bit in thinking, everybody's that way. And I normally find out the hard way that they're not. Okay, let's see. Number 6. What things should happen in your morning so you can consider to start your day on the right foot? I'm going to be honest with you guys. As I said, I'm an honest person. I'm addicted to coffee. And that's not a secret. Coffee. If I do not have my morning coffee, nothing else is going to get done. And that's just a fact. Okay. And then the last question, number 7, is what is your great virtue that can also be your greatest flaw? And I think probably my greatest virtue is I love everything clean and neat and organized. My mom I was raised, my mom's, everything has a place and everything should be in its place. And if it's out of place, that does bother me. But I've never pushed that on my family. Now, common areas, the kitchen, the bathroom, family room, so on. Yes, you all have to keep it clean, keep it neat. I always wanted them to keep their bedrooms clean and neat, but they didn't always do that. And I got to the point where I just could not stress out over it, I just didn't want to stress out over it. So I think one of my great virtues, and I believe I've got a couple of more maybe, but one of the great virtues, and my kids, my husband can tell you, if you want to know where something is, ask Mom, because she's always going to know where it is, whether it's mine or not. And I also have a memory like an elephant, which is a virtue. But it's also a big flaw because there are things I wish I could forget, but I can't. And as I said before, if it's important to me, if it's something interesting to me, I do my research. I research everything. And if I find something that I feel is a good benefit to someone else, I want to share that. And sometimes they don't want it, but I'm saying, hey, it's for your own good. At least try it. I mean, one example is keto. I don't do keto, but I did do keto. But once I lost all the weight, I just went to low carb. But that turned my health around. I mean, 180-degree turn. Like I said, I've had 2 strokes. I was on high blood pressure medicine, cholesterol medicine. I had acid reflux so bad I couldn't hardly sleep at night. And once I went on the low carb, 3 weeks after I started keto, my acid reflux was cured. That's almost 5 years ago. Well, actually, it is 5 years. It was 5 years this month. And I don't have heartburn, indigestion, nothing. And I was able to go off my cholesterol and high blood pressure medicine. So, excuse me, guys. Of course, I feel like I've done something to help my health. And I want to share that. And everybody that I try to share it with is excited about it, because if you knew me in real life, I went from 168 pounds down to 107 pounds in 6 months. So all my overweight friends. I mean, even if they've got 10 pounds to lose, they want to lose it. They want to lose it. But I'm telling them, I started the keto out because I wanted to lose weight. But when I saw the health benefits from it, losing weight was just an added bonus to me now. So now when I try to stress how horrible carbs are for people, it's because I want them to live healthy and live longer. And, oh yeah, for everybody loves the idea, but they can't give up the carbs. So, you know, and it is an absolute cure for type 2 diabetes. And I've got a couple of people, my oldest daughter for one, it is a cure for type 2 diabetes. But anyway, not everybody wants the advice. And like I said, I'm main reason I do it about the low carbs is because I love people. I love everyone. I love my family, and I just want them to live healthier and live longer. So probably won't stop trying to convince them, but being a carbaholic, I get it. I mean, I could eat a whole bag of sour cream and onion chips in one day and not bat an eye. That's been the biggest thing for me to give up is my chips. But if I can do it, I believe anybody can, because nobody loved ice cream. Now, I still eat ice cream. I just make it myself, and it's keto. But, I mean, I loved ice cream. I loved chips. That was about my biggest. And potatoes, pastas. I just loved that food. So, giving it up wasn't easy. I think my biggest incentive to give it up was when I lost 7 pounds in the first week of doing keto. I said, oh my gosh, yeah. And right now I feel like there's not a carb out there that's worth acid reflux. So it's a lifestyle change, and I love people. I love everyone, and I just want everybody to be healthy. But these are the questions, and I really, really enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed my video, because I really enjoyed sharing it. It brought back some memories. I want to thank Tammy from my Reborn Nursery for coming up with Who Are You? And I'd also like to thank Jarlise of Jarlina's Nursery. Thank you for coming up with Who Are You 2.0. So I do always hope that you all are having a wonderful, wonderful day. I know we're experiencing a lot of heat all over the world right now. Everybody I know people in UK that just are not used to the heat wave. So I do hope you're managing to stay cool and hydrated. Stay safe. If you're struggling, know you're in my thoughts and prayers. And I do thank you all so much for spending your time with me. I went over 100 subscribers. And that to me, guys, I'm just thrilled, because I've not been doing this very long. But your all support, you all subscribing, sharing my videos with your dolly friends, that's what's doing it. You all coming back and watching my videos, that's what's doing it. And I cannot stress how grateful, I can't stress enough how grateful I am. I really appreciate it. I love all of my supporters. You all are amazing, and I love you so much. And I'm really grateful for you taking your time to spend it with me today. I hope everybody will do the Who Are You and the Who Are You 2.0. so that we can all get to know each other better, and it's really fun. I think it's really fun. And again, thank you, Tammy and Jarlise, for doing this. Thank you guys for sharing your time with me. And as always, I do, honest from the bottom of my heart, hope that you do have a blessed day. And until the next time, guys, thanks so much. And bye-bye.